My best friend sabotaged my wedding, so I became her stepmom. You ever have a friend so toxic you could taste the venom in her smile? That was my best friend Celine. She was everything Instagram told us to be. Perfect blonde highlights that cost more than my rent. A laugh that sounded rehearsed even when she was drunk. We met freshman year when I was homesick and stupid. By the time I saw through her fake sweetness, we had matching tattoos. We shared an apartment where she labeled her yogurt and counted my crackers. I thought I could handle her jealousy since I had Tristan to come home to. I had a ring that caught the light just right. I was getting married in 2 weeks and nothing else mattered. Then my whole world exploded in my living room on a Tuesday. Tristan stood by our kitchen counter with shaking hands. He couldn't meet my eyes when he spoke. Celine showed me these last night, he said. He showed me his phone with screenshots I'd never seen before. Dating profiles using my photos that I'd never created. Flirty messages to his brother that I'd never sent. Stories about me cheating on past boyfriends. I tried to explain, but words wouldn't come out right. He kept shaking his head like I was already a stranger. Then he left me standing in our apartment. That night I drove to Tristan's place. Celine's white Mercedes sat in his guest spot like a declaration of war. She answered his door wearing his Columbia Law t-shirt. Nothing else. Her lips were swollen and her smile was victorious. I pushed past her and found Tristan on the couch. He looked guilty but not surprised. The truth was written all over both their faces. I accused her of faking everything and she just laughed. She was enjoying this too much to stay quiet. The words poured out of her like champagne. She bragged about saving everything in a folder. She admitted to 6 months of creating fake profiles during our wine nights. She'd been photoshopping evidence while I slept 10 feet away. Tristan heard every word but did nothing. I think he already knew. I think part of him had always wanted her too. I left them there together and never looked back. The wedding was off. The deposits were lost. The dress would hang in my closet like a ghost. 3 months later, I was in group counseling for grief. That's where I met Paul. He looked expensive but exhausted. Silver hair and hands that shook when he shared. His daughter had cut him off after a friendship-ending fight. My blood turned to ice when he said his daughter's name. Celine. We went for coffee because the universe has a sick sense of humor. He told me about the car accident that killed his wife. Celine was 16 and drunk at a party. Her mom died racing to pick her up. She became possessive and cruel and angry all the time. I should have run from that coffee shop. Instead, I found myself telling him everything. He listened like I mattered. He apologized for his daughter like her sins were his to carry. When he hugged me goodbye, I felt safe for the first time in months. We met for dinner the next week, then a movie. Then suddenly we were having conversations that lasted until 3 a.m. He was nothing like the chaos Celine carried in her DNA. He was steady and kind and looked at me like I was worth saving. I knew it was insane. The age gap alone made people stare. He was my ex-best friend's father, but being with Paul felt like finding solid ground after drowning for months. We kept it secret for 4 months of sneaking around like teenagers. His friends told him he was having a midlife crisis. My mother cried actual tears when I finally confessed. Then Celine found us. We were holding hands at her favorite restaurant because of course we were. She saw us through the window and came inside screaming. She called it sick and twisted and revenge. Paul stood up with more dignity than she deserved. You destroyed her life, he said calmly. She tried everything after that revelation. Social media posts about me being a predator, messages to Tristan saying I'd manipulated a grieving widower, photos from college implying I'd always wanted her dad. When Paul proposed with his mother's ring, she threatened to burn the world down. We sent her a wedding invitation. She came to our small ceremony in her mother's funeral dress, black lace and a corsage of spite. The dress still had the funeral program in its pocket. During the father-daughter dance, Paul chose to dance with me instead. I watched her face crumble from across the room. I gave a speech about loving Paul and joining this family. I made sure to use the word stepmother 3 times. That's when she finally shattered completely. She screamed that I'd stolen everything from her. She admitted she'd destroyed my wedding because I was abandoning her. Her mascara ran in rivers down her face. Paul told her to sit down or leave. She sat. Now she comes for Sunday dinners because Paul insists. She has to text me to ask what to bring. She has to RSVP to me for holidays. She has to include me in the family group chat where I heart every photo she posts. Tristan dumped her after 3 months. Turns out she was too possessive for him too. She texts me sometimes when she's drunk and lonely. Long paragraphs about how I ruined her life. I respond with stepmother advice about making better choices. I sign every text love mom, and she loses her mind every time.